So for this month's instalment of This Month in UK Funfairs, I thought I'd include something a bit different as the background. So just behind me right there is the Chipping Sodbury Spring Mop Fair, which is back for the first time since about 3 years now, because it was scheduled to take place in March 2020 last time, but that couldn't happen because it was due to take place after the first lockdown and couldn't happen in 2020. I mean, you get the idea. So I'm only stopping by here just for a little bit because I'm unable to stay for the opening because of commitments I have going up in Hinckley. So it's Friday today as I'm recording this. The fair opens at 6 PM. I can't stay until then, but I am hoping to stop by tomorrow as of recording this, and hopefully arrive about 8 PM-ish, so I can get a lot of the action at night time. But just in case that doesn't happen, I thought I'd include it in the background so it does make it onto the channel in some way, this particular fair. So also, before I go into the episode, I want to give a couple of things a special mention. So 2 special things that are happening at this fair. It's actually the very first outing for the new boards decorated for William Porter's Waltzer, which looks absolutely phenomenal. I haven't been able to get the name of who painted it, but I'll leave the name right here if that ever does happen, because Charles and William have been so busy and I haven't been able to find them. And also, it's the very first place where Charles Porter has taken the Sizzler, which he has purchased from Shane Rowland last month. So all that out of the way. So here it is actually being built up, I should probably point out, because we haven't been able to see it with it fully built up because of how limited we are for timing. But we hope to see it in action tomorrow night. And all that aside, let's see what's been happening this month in UK Funfairs. Right, hello and welcome to the March 2022 instalment of This Month in UK Funfairs. So now that it's marked the 2-year anniversary since the first lockdown, and as we can pretty much see, the complete opposite has happened. So fairs are thriving, they're back open, the punters are out, pretty much speak for itself really. So before we jump into the news regarding events, there is one thing that did happen that I do want to give a mention in this month's episode.
BBC Radio 2 DJ Sarah Cox has recently received a lot of backlash after a comment she made about local fairs. During a broadcast of her show that happened this month, she said this.
Says the Little Hampton Wild Mouse roller coaster. I love roller coasters, but honestly, didn't think we'd make it to the end alive. That's the thing with smaller local fairs, isn't it? Their roller coaster and rides are held together by rusty screws, blue tack and crossed fingers.
As you would expect, this has caused quite an uproar in the fairground industry as well as the fairground enthusiast community, and also received backlash from the Future for Fairgrounds campaign, which emerged during the COVID-19 pandemic. This has also caused this email to be sent by Scottish showman Spencer Hosker, which we recommend you pause to read because it is worth the whole said read. The BBC complaints team have responded and have stated the following. Ref comments by Sarah Cox, BBC Radio 2. Received this reply, which I'm sure many of you got the same. Thank you for writing to us about Sarah Cox on Radio 2. To ensure we use our license fee resources efficiently, we're sending this response to everyone. We're sorry we can't reply individually, but we hope this will address most of the points you raised. Sarah made an off-the-cuff comment in response to a listener text about roller coaster rides and was referring to her own childhood memories of fairground rides and not present-day standards. She did not mean to offend any of her listeners, and the comment was in no way intended to be derogatory to local fairs. This is where feedback such as yours is very much valued, as it tells us what our listeners think we're getting right and of course what they think we're getting wrong. Your concerns have been passed to Radio 2 and senior editorial staff. Thank you again for getting in touch. Kind regards, BBC Complaints team. At present, neither anyone at BBC Radio 2 or Sarah Cox herself has responded or made the statement to the complaints.
Okay, so with that bit out of the way, let's have a look and see any news regarding events for this month.
After being cancelled the past 2 years, Tavistock Goose Fair will be making a comeback for the first time since 2019. The fair will start on Wednesday the 12th of October and will presumably run until Sunday the 16th of that month. After a 3-year absence, the Bath Easter Fair is making a comeback at the Royal Victoria Park. The furthest time round will see all rides £2 all day every day excluding the dodgems. In previous years this has been a £1 fare, but £2 is understandable given the impact of the pandemic as well as recent circumstances involving fuel costs. It has been confirmed that the 4th Super Trooper built by PWS has filled the Ripsaw Sports at Alton Towers theme park in Staffordshire and will carry the Funk and Fly name which was previously used last year. This machine replaces the 3rd Super Trooper PWS built, which is back with owner David Irvin, and that machine should be travelling again later this year. Keeping on topic of Alton Towers, as another ride has joined the park's Retro Squad campaign. Alton Towers officially revealed a ride called Spin Jam will be opening in the park for the 2022 season, but was not officially confirmed what the ride would be. However, it would like to be revealed that the ride in question would be Mitchell Wilmot's Tivoli remix named Air Raid. The ride is sitting in the same spot that was occupied by Stokes' Jumper Jumper, which was rebranded as Mixtape. After a 3-year absence, the Chipping Sodbury Spring Mock Fair has returned for the first time following the cancellation of the 2020 Spring Map before the UK went into its first lockdown. At first we thought we were not able to make it to this one while it was open due to commitments in Hinckley. But thankfully that was not the case, as we managed to get to the fair a couple of hours before closing on Saturday night.
Next up, we do have quite a lot for this one, so let's see what's been happening in terms of new rides for the UK Funfair scene.
Guyot's Funfairs have teased on Facebook a new machine being made for David Jr. called Hellraiser. The word is that this will be a brand new fair trade waltzer which will see 4 hills and will be the second machine built by the firm to contain an outer pay box on the trailer. More word is that the ride is currently being painted and decorated. Later on in the month, Fair Trade would show photos of the current progress on the ride being built up at their firm. We will have updates later on in the segments. Connor and Swaley Manning have taken delivery of a brand new Dodgems track called Autodrome from Colmus Plus and complete with Burtazan New York cars. The ride made its first outing at Fairlands Valley Car Park of Stevenage in Hertfordshire. Another Dodgem track to be delivered to the UK from Colmax Plus was one called Dodgem Test Track for Joe William White. It is yet to make its debut, however, as Joe is currently looking for a ground for this attraction to attend. We haven't, however, been able to find a photo of the new track, hence why the listing on the Comlax website is being used instead. There is now again a 3rd technical park loop fighter in the UK joining Atmosphere and No Limit, but will be the UK's 4th overall loop fighter, with MX departing with Mellies to Saudi Arabia. The loop fighter in question is a machine called Red Devil, which was purchased second-hand from the Montenero family in Italy by Darren Matthews. It's understood that this is a secondary loop fighter in the family joining Darren Jr.'s No Limit, as Darren is looking for a park or long-term event to place the ride. Hopefully we'll soon have news on where Red Devil will make its UK debut. After selling his Crazy Frog Safeco Jump and Smile to Edward Evans back in December, Elliot Crow has purchased a 14-arm machine called Don Sapo from a seller in Spain. The ride made its first outing in the UK with Elliot at a ground in Hull. Although this ride will be going into an amusement park and not for the travelling fair circuit, we thought we'd give this a special mention. KMG have revealed some teaser photos of the first ever Speed 32 for the UK called Aerospace being built for Henry Danter and will be going to Barry Island Pleasure Park in Wales. It is expected to open at the park in the summer and will be the second overall Speed 32 built by KMG. The Roland family have shared photos of David Jr.'s brand new fair trade waltzer named Groove Rider 2, which is nearing completion. We haven't received confirmation if the ride will be painted and decorated in time for its potential debut in May, but we should have updates on that in the next episode. Going back to the Hellraiser Waltzer for David Guyot Jr., and we can finally show this machine in all its glory and beauty. Here is the ride after some absolutely stunning work done by airbrush artist DC Slater. The ride made its first ever outing at Hounslow Heath in London and opened just before the month ended.
And finally, on to some ride changes to the UK Funfair scene.
Anderton and Roland have announced that they have been heavily working on Simon's Twister ride. The work has been seeing a complete overhaul, including the trailer and chassis been completely repainted, as well as the cars in new lighting cap colors being fitted. We can't wait to see what the finished refurbishment will look like. Troy Taylor has revealed to the Funfairs around Scotland page that his TriStar has received a completely new pay control box and a new queuing system, which has previously been used on the likes of James Rogers Matterhorn and recently built PWS machines. Scott Holland has sold his Maxwell Waltzer to Sean Wesley. The machine opened up with the new owner at Denver Playing Fields in Downham Market in Norfolk. We received some news regarding this ownership change back in November. However, at the time the information was private and was not 100% confirmed. However, as of March we are able to confirm on ownership change to Mark Benson's Extreme. Mark sold this ride to Thomas Irish, who previously owned Rotor of the same name built by the Hammonds. It is currently unconfirmed when and where Thomas will be taking this new purchase. The Davis have announced via the Fun Park Facebook page some major updates on the refurbishment of John's X-Flight KMG Freakout. The update shows all new lighting packages in the green, purple and blue color scheme. We will include the next update on where it opened in next month's episode. After being advertised for sale for quite a long time, Colin Devey Jr. of Anderton and Roland has sold his Thriller Sabima Matterhorn to Richard Hart. The ride is expected to make its first outing with the new owner at a ground in the southwest, but that is to be confirmed. Another ride from Anderton and Roland to be sold was Colin Sr.'s Tivoli Orbiter. At first all we knew is that it was sold to a Hampshire-based showman, but the new owner didn't come forward until later on in the month. The new owner of this ride would later be revealed to be Ben Rossett. He first opens with the ride at a fair hosted by Charles Cole on the ground just outside of the Southampton area. John Simons had sold his Nottingham, UK Miami named the Buzz to Henry Start. We received confirmation from Henry that he has bought this Miami as a secondary machine which he will hire out to long-term events or parks. He will be travelling with Moondancer, which he purchased from Jamie Clark back in autumn last year. We managed to see this ride at its debut under the new ownership at Theachi near the Ronde Valleys. Another Miami to be sold was this one built by Czech Republican company Bojix named Avengers. The ride, which was owned by Colin and Darren Noble, has been sold to Michael Tubey, who first opened with his new purchase at Churchgate Car Park of Retford in Nottinghamshire. Scott Gray has sold his Fabry Taggart named Crazy Shake to Ben North. It's thought that this year's Stamford Mid-Lent Fair was the first place Ben has taken this ride under his ownership. And with all that, back to the studio.
And with that, that is the March 2022 instalment of this month of UK Funfairs. So, that out of the way, gotta quickly wrap this up because I really gotta get over to Hinkley as quick as I possibly can. And yeah, I hope to stay here, well I hope to get here, for the opening tomorrow night, because it opens from 2 to 10. Hopefully I'll arrive about 8 PM tomorrow, the day after this. But just in case, so you'll only know about this, so if there's nothing from Chipping Sodbury tomorrow, then yeah, I haven't been able to make it. So on that note, thank you so much for watching and see you later.